Who would you like to see next when you step into the octagon?
Everybody. I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. Ah!
We have never seen a supremely dominant wrestler that has one-shot knockout power. Until now. Khamzat Chimaev has arrived, and the hype is real. How do you formulate a game plan against him is the question many coaches will ask themselves in the near future. We all saw it against Jingliang. Chimaev is a force to be reckoned with. The fight starts. Right away, Khamzat approaches Lee and makes it look like he's gonna strike. After all, his right hand commands respect. At the same moment, he moves his legs explosively towards his opponent and shoots in for the takedown. He gets in with a low center of gravity extremely fast, and he gets his head stuck on Lee's hip. But look here, he doesn't dip his head straight down. Instead, he uses a circular movement, and so even if he shoots on Jingliang's power side, it is very hard to time him with a knee or uppercut, or any strike for that matter. Of course, in this case, it proves to be inconsequential, because Lee bites on Chimaev's feint and misses his strike by about half a mile. Khamzat clamps his hands together and starts power walking towards Jingliang. His balance when close to the ground is something else. It's almost like he can't be reversed. Now, with his head still glued to Lee, Chimaev moves his leg behind his opponent's center of gravity, which gives him an opportunity to lift him up. In this position, takedowns, slams, a lot is available, and while Lee is trying to regain some sort of balance, Chimaev capitalizes by sneaking his head below Lee's arm. And just like that, 8 seconds in, he's on his back. As soon as that happens, he's already looking in direction of the boss. He's not worried about Lee anymore. The fact that the only person he should be thinking about is trying to fight the hands isn't even relevant, it seems. Khamzat just lifts him up like he would with any heavy object by setting it on his hip, and then he starts walking and screaming towards Dana White. That is a badass Max Holloway inspired moment right there. To finally complete the takedown, he tilts Lee at an angle and slams him on the ground. Sliding a hook in looks almost too easy, right? Does that style of execution ring a bell? And on the ground, there's no question, it's Khamzat's world. It looks so automatic for him, but why? Well, first of all, his head position is flawless. Second of all, the grappling strategy he employs is perfectly balanced. He's always looking for the next move, but at the same time, he stays patient. For example, here, he could try and take the back, but the odds of success would be limited, and it would give some space to Lee, which is what Khamzat doesn't want. So instead, he stays composed, he traps Lee against the fence and keeps control of his left leg, while also throwing strikes to open up opportunities that could improve his position. And here, Khamzat identifies the fact that Lee is trying to face him. If Lee manages to free his leg, he could turn his body and possibly get up. So to make that more difficult, Chimaev grabs a hold of Lee's right hip that affects his body orientation, and it also makes it almost impossible for Lee to move his hips in a way where he could free his leg. Once again, no space. Now, Chimaev's wrist is controlled by Lee, so he switches his grip from the hip to the forearm and uses that leverage to make Jingliang faceplant. It seems like Lee's only hope is to fight the hands, but when you got a guy who's so good with the Dagestani handcuff, it's pretty hard to hand fight. Here, Lee actually manages to free his leg by making a nice circle with it, but Khamzat immediately shows insane grounded footwork to force Lee into a praying position once again. Hips, chest, and head glued to his opponent. Jingliang has to do something. This can't go on like this. He tries to posture up, using the fence to his advantage, but Khamzat wasn't born yesterday. He grabs Lee's hip so Lee can't turn, he unhooks his leg so he can move to the back and insert himself between Jingliang and the cage. Now Lee has no support from the fence. Not only can't he get up, he's also severely lacking balance, so Chimaev drags him into deep waters. He occupies the hands and sneaks his hooks in, one by one. Boers is strong and has no difficulty flattening his prey out. This position is one of the most effective to finish a fight in MMA, and Khamzat starts hammering away with huge shots. The ones coming from below the arm make Lee lift his chin up, which exposes his neck, and you know what happens next. The rear naked choke is in deep, matter of time before he's asleep, but Lee does a good job of turning towards the grips joint to alleviate some pressure. He even momentarily gets away from the grasp of the oppressor, but not for long. 10 victories, 10 finishes, no defeat. Khamzat Chimaev is for real. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. By the way, I finally got the first level of my Patreon online. For $1 a month, you'll be able to hear my reactions to every UFC event. The next levels will be coming out soon. I'm very excited about this, and thanks to my very first contributors. It really means a lot. So yeah, the link is in the description. Before letting you go, I just want to talk about Khamzat a bit more. I was so impressed by his ability to control these hips. It looked effortless, especially during the finishing sequence. To be honest, the only guy that I would put as a favorite against Chimaev at 170 would be Usman. I see him beating everyone else in the division relatively easily, and that's crazy, because he's only had 4 fights in the UFC. One thing is for sure, his career is going to be fun to watch. Subscribe, like, comment, make me happy. Alright guys, see ya.